Mhm.
So you were a distance runner here at WT. I had Coach Daniel come on a few months ago, and we were talking a little bit about like the mental strategy in those long races, because I know you guys reach a certain point where everything hits like the pain. You start becoming more aware of like your environment, whether it's hot, cold, your breathing. So what was your mental strategy when you were running, when you kind of reached that point where you're like, oh gosh, I don't know if I can keep going, but you maintain focus and persevere through it?
Yeah, I would say for me, especially at WT, it was the aspect of team. That was something I didn't have as much at my last school. So being at WT, just like knowing I was racing for something more than myself, that helped, especially at races like regionals when we're trying to get into nationals. I specifically remember hurting bad, but knowing that like we needed more out of me if we wanted to go to nationals as a team. So definitely the team aspect, just remembering what you're running for.
That's incredible. Do you miss it?
Of course. Yeah, I trained a bit with the team last year, like all season. I have like a little nagging injury, so I haven't been as much, but I really want running to remain a big part of my life. So.
Well, the cool part is you don't really have to like gather a bunch of people to go play pickup or anything like that. You can just run all the time. Do you run in marathons, or have you since you have been done?
No marathons. Last year when I was training, I stayed like mile, 3K, around that area. I don't think I ran a 5K last year, but yeah, no marathons yet. Maybe one day.
Maybe one day. I know a lot of people who are like, I'm going to run a marathon in every state and, you know, knock it off. So I wasn't sure if you had done that quite yet. But as an athlete and experiencing, you know, the grittiness and the having to persevere and work hard, how have those lessons helped you in your life today?
I really think a lot of how I am is shaped from like my life in athletics, and honestly it's hard to even put into words, but I have been in sports my whole life, and you know, just having great coaches along the way teaching life lessons. I can't pinpoint what they are, but I just think, you know, some sense of like perseverance, I think that comes from athletics, and specifically being a distance runner, because it's such a process of like delayed gratification and just persevering. So yeah, it's hard to pinpoint, but I would say that that's probably like the biggest thing, and general sports has helped.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I really like look up to you distance runners, because I'm like, I could never. That's why I played volleyball, short sprints, we'll call it a day. But yeah, now you decided to stick around. You're a GA here at WT. You've experienced the program as an athlete, and now you're experiencing it in more of like a leadership role and more of a coaching role. So what has that transition been like? Because I'm sure it's been a bit different, you know, seeing it from all perspectives.
Yeah, in theory, I think you would think that the transition has been easy, because I was athlete, and then last year I was volunteering, but I was still training for the most part. So a little bit of transition there, and then to now like coaching. But it is a little bit hard, but I also love the team. Half of them were my teammates and close friends, and so the emotional connection I have with them is so strong that like when they're on the starting line for a race, I actually get a little bit emotional and super excited. So that part's cool, just getting to stay around the sport that I love and athletes that I'm like very connected to. So
what's been your favorite part about getting to be a GA here? Is that it, getting to connect with
I would say
the players
so
still?
Yeah, I have a really strong connection with them, so continuing to like see their journey and see how they're doing this year with the team being how it is, so great. So I'm just really glad to be a part of that.
So do you plan on being a cross country or track coach one day? What are the aspirations?
The aspirations specifically, I'm not too sure, but I love the sport. I love being around it, you know, everything running, track, cross country. So I think in some aspect it'll revolve around that. However that takes its form.
Nice, awesome. Well, we appreciate you coming on today. It's been awesome to get to know you.
Yeah, thanks.
Your records and stats and stuff are incredible. I read through all of them, so
thank
really
you.
cool. Yeah, so
Thanks.
let's cheers to that.
Cheers.
Ooh.